Hello, my name is Gary of Vaporize the Z-Juice, and today I want to talk about the rebuildable Genesis style atomizer. Now I picked up the Genesis style atomizer from lightsig.com for $19.95. Now with a little bit of tinkering, you can really get the Genesis working great. Now let's go into a tighter shot and see what's involved. Okay, here's the Genesis atomizer and a collection of bits. Mouthpiece, top cap, have the tube, comes with some extra 32 gauge wire, an extra wick. Here's the top assembly, the bottom assembly, and the middle. Center pin, got some little nuts, and the wick that comes with it. Now it does come pre-assembled with the wick and the coil, and I have to say I used it and it worked fairly well. It has a 3/32 wick hole, 1.5 millimeter air hole, which I bored out to a 1/16 of an inch. Seems to work pretty good for me. Now it has a rubber grommet here and the top housing assembly and the bottom. I haven't removed them at all, so just be mindful of that so you don't lose them. Well, let's go ahead and reassemble the Genesis. I'm just going to go ahead and lubricate this O-ring with a little juice. Make it a little easier to get this flimsy clear plastic tube that comes with it back on. Alright, that was pretty easy. Let's go ahead and lubricate this O-ring too. Don't need much, just a little bit will do ya. And stick that one back on. To stick this one back on, you want to push a little bit, start twisting, because this center pin is threaded. There we are. Now we'll take the center firing pin and stick that in there. Take one of your little nuts. Go ahead and screw that on there. Just take another nut, get it on there. And our last nut. There she is, almost reassembled. All that's left is the top cap, like I said, which I bored out. Okay, now that we got that reassembled, let's go ahead and wrap a coil. Grab a bit of Kanthal. Just take your fingernail and try to get some of the kinks out of it. That looks like a fair amount. Taking maybe 3 inches of Kanthal off of there. Okay, just kind of trap it under your thumb like that. Just start wrapping your coil I'll just give as many wraps as you feel comfortable with. Try to get them evenly spaced apart. There we go. Let's just stick it back in the Jenny. I did fail to mention they do send a screwdriver for you. It's a Phillips head, magnetized. And you're just going to want to get this trapped underneath the screw. Just like so. And give her a twist down. Underneath there. Give her a twist until she locks in. Okay, let's hook it up to a PV and see how the coil looks. Okay, I'm going to check it out, see if I have any excessive hot spots on this coil. Now the wicks come pre-oxidized, so I didn't have to worry about that. Put a little bit of juice in there. Shut off the light. Got a little bit of a hot spot on the top there. Okay, the coils are glowing pretty even, so I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with juice. See what we get. Just a little bit of tinkering. I got a perfect coil. Okay, we just simply remove the screw for the fill hole. The screwdriver is magnetic, that comes with the kit. I use a syringe. Now this Genesis holds roughly 3 ml of juice. Put a little bit on the coil. Place the screw. There we have it. We have a firing coil. Replace the top cap. And try to line up the air hole with the wick. This is where I like to have the air hole lined up exactly with the wick. Gives a smooth draw, a very smooth vape. Now let's go to a wide angle and see how she vapes. Now the Genesis is made out of chrome plated brass. Now you're not heating it up in any way, so there's really no problems as far as being poisoned goes. And with the stainless steel wick, I know there's a lot of people out there, thinking that, you can get a lot of poisons out of that as well, but you're not heating that up either after you oxidize it. When you oxidize it and it's glowing red and you're breathing in the fumes at that point, yeah, you probably have a problem. You don't want to do that. So I suggest go ahead and buy a pre-oxidized wick, and you don't even have to worry about that. Flavor is really, really good. Very nice vapor coming out of it. And with the enlarged air hole, I'm getting a good draw. Now you might be wondering what happens if you start your coil off in, let's say, too many volts. Yep, that's a blown coil. Now I position my wick so when I push the button, it's on the underside. So when I go like this, it feeds the wick properly. This is my first Genesis style atomizer. By no means am I a professional at this. Now I'm Gary, Vaporizes E-Juice. Until next time, vape on and no more cigarettes. Have a great day.